I'm good. Are you good? Are you ready, John?
I think so.
Are you ready, Steve? I'm Steve.
Hey,
Andy.
you got voices.
All
in
right,
your head,
fellas,
saying you're ready?
let's go.
Primarily critical.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Primarily Critical. If movies had an after party, this would be it.
If you have not seen this film, we suggest that you do so before listening any further.
'Cause we got spoilers, we got trivia, and opinions like crazy, and we can't wait to share them.
Good, bad, ugly, weird, gross,
You didn't say new. Did you say new?
new, old, I don't know, whatever.
We pass judgment on them all.
Today, the wildlife, but not wildlife.
No.
Wildlife versus wildlife. Heaven knows what.
Yes.
John, this is your pick.
Yeah. Well, like I was saying on the land. Well, you know, okay, I have mixed feelings about this movie, but I like the idea, like I was saying last week, is that this was written by the woman and acted by a woman, the same woman, and she plays herself. It's a true story.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
You don't see that a lot.
You don't see that a lot?
No.
Crazy town.
You know
Yeah.
what was not pretty good?
This movie.
I did not like this movie.
You didn't like this movie.
I've had a very hard time making through it. It had promise at the beginning. I thought, hey, you know, gritty movie about life on the streets, addiction. The
Yeah.
actors were all in because she was in that
Yeah.
place, apparently,
Yeah.
right? And
It's hard to feel sorry for these people.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
they're young, addicted people, basically living like rats, trying to scurry and try to steal, beg, borrow money to feed their addictions. But nobody in the movie had any redemption story arc to them, or they weren't likable.
No, it's true. I mean, it was hard to. I mean, I think
hard to look for in a movie.
this was not a really one that pulled at your heartstrings so much. You know, it was just kind of. It felt like, almost like a documentary. It's kind of like you just put cameras in to watch a segment of a life of a
I'll
junkie.
tell you what,
know,
you hit the nail on the head. In my opinion, and this could have been served better to be a documentary style thing.
Yeah, I mean, it had that.
It was weird.
Steve, thoughts?
There was nobody in this movie to really like. We have Harley, played by Ariel Holmes,
Yeah.
and Harley is his girlfriend to this shithead named Ilya. And he treats her like garbage.
Like garbage.
Garbage.
Like unbelievable
He
garbage.
was a complete piece of shit.
He was
yeah.
trying to
Like,
convince her to commit suicide in front
Does
of him.
that?
Yeah.
And she does.
And she does. Well, she tries.
Tries.
Yeah.
Just to please him. And she
Yeah.
still calls herself and a couple.
That's the love of her life still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing, sorry to interrupt you, but just basically, we're dropped into these people's lives with no real backstory, and so I don't sympathize with them. I don't feel for them.
No, we don't have.
Don't know how they got
yeah.
to this position to become rats on the streets. And I say that because just these people, there's other people that would eventually probably want help, try to do something with their lives. Or there's some people, and you saw it in the movie, they look legitimately mentally ill.
Yeah.
And they actually didn't look like actors. They felt too legitimate. Like, a couple.
Well, yeah.
Like,
I mean,
and
I think
felt for those.
I
people.
think what this movie, what it really is, and what it was trying to show, is it was very realistic. Like,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
we love the story of redemption, people trying to get out of the, you know, that makes a story to us, right?
Yeah.
But that's not the reality of this life. The reality of this life, this is what actually goes on, is that it's exactly what we saw. So you want to take a snippet of what is the life of junkies is like, this is it.
Yeah.
You know, and so
Is that
it's-
enough to make a
I
good
mean,
movie? Or does it
I don't know.
matter?
I mean, it's. I wanted to add one more note though. When I said that the woman that acted and wrote this and starred in it, all that, that's Ariel Holmes. I didn't actually say her name, and she played Harley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for all our discussions that we carry on, we should at least know that much about it.
It was directed, it looks like, by brothers Ben and Joshua Safdie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So Ariel wrote a book called Mad Love in New York, and people loved it. So I guess they wanted to make a movie about it, and this has all happened in a short period of time.
Yes.
And so they wrote a screenplay based on the book, and then Ariel plays herself, or Harley, right? She plays out what she wrote in the book,
Yeah.
and wow, man,
I mean,
what a really ruthless life.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
depressing. I mean, there's
Yeah.
nothing uplifting about this movie. There's not
Oh.
even really happy moments in this movie. I
No.
mean, it's really
void
dark.
of anything that gives you hope, really.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Is it wrong to say a movie has to have something, even if they're evil or something? It doesn't go right at the end, and this and that. It never really flatlined through the movie. It just kept.
Yeah.
There was one point in the movie at the end they somehow decide they're going to go to Florida, right?
Yeah.
A bus ride, and I thought, oh, here this movie's getting interesting, because time was running
Yeah.
out in the movie. I'm thinking, we're going somewhere. Something's
Yeah.
going to happen here. Nothing happened. They basically both separately got off the bus, and might I add, she almost caused an accident with these people.
Yeah.
I just didn't like these characters, and I
Yeah.
couldn't.
No,
I
there's
didn't-
nobody to like here. I mean,
And I'm sorry, when the guy he eventually dies in a fiery pit of a candle lights
Yeah.
up this rat infested hole of a building. I'm like, what?
good riddance.
I don't know. What,
Well,
you didn't want
okay.
help. You just want to exist to just be a piece of shit to this woman, and then that circle would have kept going. So
Well, okay, Harley and Ilya, at the end of the movie, they share a moment, and I guess we're supposed to get a glimpse of why they love each other.
I didn't know if that sold me.
And they jump on a bus and they fly away.
Oh.
But Ilya says, "You know what? This is gonna get bad. I need to leave her. Maybe I need to save her from me. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe.
And they have
So
this
he
little-
jumps off the thing. He gets into an abandoned building and he burns himself to death.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
get to watch his face burn, which is interesting.
That was an interesting effect.
Yeah.
But was it because he knew how to operate in this New York City?
I think it's
Why-
just typical of junkies. Like, and I actually, what I found,
You know what I mean? It's too much work to go somewhere else and hustle when you know what you got to do when you're a piece of shit
Yeah,
neighborhood.
yeah, it's true. I mean, and what's ironic about this is that I actually know. I'm not going to give names on the podcast here and stuff, but I actually know someone who did that's an addict that did exactly that. Took another addict with them, went on a bus trip, and dished them as soon as they got there. And they were the
Yeah.
ones that wanted this person to come with them, and then dished them the moment they got off the bus. And so it speaks to me. What it speaks to is that there's no ability in an addict, in these junkies' brains, to actually follow through with any significant plan. They're
Yeah.
so on the roller coaster of needing to get high and their ups and downs that they can't follow through on a single friggin' plan. Not even a trip to Florida. They can't do it. It's impossible, So I think that's kind of what this showed. It's just another snippet of the reality of a junkie. I mean, that's all we got here. That's all this movie is a bunch of the reality of junkies.
Not to shit on this movie too much, but there's been other movies that dealt with addiction and people on the streets, and then one comes to mind is Train Spotting, and it just more entertaining. I hate to say a movie about addiction isn't supposed to be entertaining, but
Yeah.
at least I feel for the characters. There's an arc to them.
Yeah.
And they I don't know. I think this movie would have, I said it before, it could have been better served as a documentary style kind of thing.
Well, I know.
And I don't know.
Yeah,
What does this movie
I don't
serve?
think you were with Primarily Critical when we covered Kids. Remember Kids?
Oh well,
Yeah.
no, but
you know the movie.
I think I recall watching it a long time ago.
This just seemed like a shittier version of Kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's saying something.
like, well, I mean,
That-
I thought Kids was a good movie.
Yeah,
I-
shitty in realistic terms. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, but there was more of a story there. This story
Yeah.
was so weak.
weak. I don't even know if there was a story.
Well, I mean, okay, we have. You had to look for a story in here, you've got the love story between Harley and
There's
Ilya,
a love
which is
triangle
very
too.
weak.
They enter in the other
I thought
guy.
one of the more compelling characters was actually Mike. I thought he was
like the love triangle.
yeah, and I thought he was kind of a compelling
He was going
character.
places.
I thought he actually
was kind of going places. That guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
yeah, it was. I mean,
He at one point he threw down $30. Hey man,
Yeah.
you get whatever you want from this.
I'll buy everyone a burger.
yeah,
Whatever that restaurant was.
It was
like,
White Castle.
He was going places. All right.
I know a lot of these movies, like Train Spotting, like Kids,
Yeah.
like Heaven Knows What, like Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
These drug movies, which are like really heavy, authentic pieces of shit.
It's its own genre.
I have a hard time with these movies.
Yeah.
I really, it's just like, it pains me to watch this and know that it's very, very real.
well, yeah, and don't you think it should though, right? I mean, like, here's my thought on this: these aren't pleasant to watch. They're not. It's not a good family movie. It's not even a fun movie to watch, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's some value in having these things exist.
Oh, yeah.
I think people need to see these snippets. It's like they needed almost have to be forced into like it's like they're at school or something. You had to watch that film.
Yeah.
You kind of need to see it just to keep tabs on what it's like. And so
yeah.
I don't begrudge that movies like this are made. I kind of are glad that they exist. It's not pleasant. There's nothing fun about it. It's dark. It's ugly.
Oh,
it's the
yeah.
It's the sickest side of humanity. And
Yeah.
and but
I concur.
it's
I
authentic.
agree.
yeah.
What? Okay. This is an idea of, I think, what was the letter she was writing for the shithead there about at library? She
Yeah.
was gonna commit
Yeah.
suicide. She's
Right.
gonna
He didn't
do
even
this.
read it.
Didn't read. He rips it up, and then what was the letter about? Who was it for? Because I didn't catch that.
It was a suicide note.
It was her suicide
But
note.
wasn't it addressed to someone? I want
him.
you to give
To him.
To him. I want you to give this to you.
Well, I want you to read it.
Oh.
After I'm dead. or
After I'm
something.
dead. Or like, well, you can read it now, she says, but
So-
especially after I'm dead.
Something interesting. Couldn't that have just like somehow we could have got a voiceover reading this letter to, or did she kind of do that at the end when they had that little?
And that was a
disgusting,
poem. It seemed like,
sex
or
scene there.
something, or
Yeah, it just like they could have crafted this movie in a more engaging or a bit of a
I mean,
story.
put a little more of a story in there. Yeah.
Something to give you hope, pull you through the movie. I was looking at the old watch and thinking,
How much
Yeah.
more of the movie do I have to watch?
and I was pausing it and then watching and thinking, okay, we got to land this plane and end this movie. We got 20 minutes, and how are they gonna do it? And,
Yeah.
Every character in this movie operated as though nobody was watching.
Nobody-
they had
Yeah.
sex in the street.
Yeah.
They were swearing and cussing and screaming
Oh,
at each
it was
other.
awful.
As if nobody else was there.
you know
It's
who?
true.
You know who I felt sorry for?
Who did you feel sorry for?
The poor people, the unfortunate souls that had to work environments where they had like the people of the restaurant,
Yeah.
the
staff
the staff, the people at the convenience stores that had to deal with these, and the people that are trying to help you dealing with these people. You feel sorry for them. And then you never got any other side of the story. You just got them. And its focus was tight on the cast that we had to deal with. And maybe that was on purpose. No police, hardly anything. You had to be right there in the.
I know.
In the thick of it.
Who the heck is this slumlord piece of work?
I know, right?
That rents out.
Well, she's a bleeding heart. That's the way I look at it.
She was trying to do a good thing for these people.
I believe
Give them a
so. I
safe
mean,
side.
I think she was a bleeding heart that says, like, look, I have this place. I can give.
$15
I'm
a
going to
night?
help. Yeah, she's just one of these
Yeah.
people that is trying to help them out the best
guess
way
so.
she can. And
That was a good thing to know
I
that-
mean, honestly, if all of us here decide, let's go help some homeless people. Well, if we're going to go out and help homeless people, we're probably helping addicts.
Yeah.
The reality is they probably are all addicted to something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she might have been a woman that said, I'm going to help the homeless, I'm going to provide a place for some cheap rent for the homeless. And she accepts the fact that they're junkies, because that's what homeless people usually are. They're addicts, you know. And so she allowed that stuff to go on. But yeah, I just saw her as a bleeding heart that was compassionate and saw value in them, and not just threw them out as trash.
Trying to make money off them, right? Probably.
Yeah, but she probably could have made more money than $15 a night if
was
she wanted.
Was she an addict herself, or was she? I didn't get all.
Could have used an Airbnb.
Yeah, I didn't get the sense she was. I just thought she was like that hippy dippy kind of old lady that just wanted
to. She didn't mind having a really dirty place.
I won't name specifics, but I did stay at an Airbnb. I pretty much felt like I was at a drug den.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you have to read the reviews. You have to be shop carefully.
Yeah. Be aware.
Be aware.
Addict supply.
Be very aware.
Addicts want
read all the things.
Airbnb. Yes.
Do your homework. Okay. What was I gonna say? Scully.
Yeah.
Scully was a heavy-set man, and he was in the first half of the movie. He was following Harley around. He seemed like a good guy.
Seemed like, yeah.
I mean, he was obviously
ulterior motives, maybe.
No,
he was enabling. He was definitely enabling.
He had a thing for her.
You think so?
Oh yeah, but I also felt for him because he seemed like he just wanted to have companions, and I thought he might have been a little mentally.
I felt like he was the kind of guy that would have been very happy to do whatever it took to sell his ass on the street, try to make sure he could provide her with the drugs, as long as he had her for himself.
He seemed a little like maybe autistic or something. He felt like he was a little.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like he had other things going on.
Yeah,
he wasn't.
I had a hard time.
No, but he had a heart. You had a kind heart, or you just.
I had a hard time putting a pin on that guy.
What?
You know, I didn't know where his motives were. I didn't know.
No, but I think it would have been interesting if it kept him in the story a bit more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought here's one of the most pathetic things in the movie.
All right, let's hear it. Most pathetic.
The most pathetic thing.
Yeah.
I want to hear this.
the shithead fight scene where they we're gonna fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill you.
I thought, okay, now we're gonna have some drama.
Yeah.
Something big's gonna happen here.
A bunch of rolling in the gray.
A bunch of rolling around because one guy's too wasted to even fight in this pathetic fight scene, and he pulls out of nowhere. He pulls out this
razor
homemade ninja star, tosses at his hand, cuts his hand pretty severely, and that was like the extent of it. I thought maybe someone might die. I don't know, something like more exciting.
But I mean, we're looking for Hollywood, and this was
so.
meant. I'm sure that's the kind of shit that actually does go on. Some idiot with his homemade throwing star through to hit the other guy in his hand, and that's the end of it. You know, I mean, that's probably the reality of how. I mean, Now, this was not. I will say this: I did read enough to find out that this was not actually factual. Every single thing about this.
No, but
apparently Ilya did not die in a fire. He actually died of an overdose in Central Park.
Well, so then if you're going to be factual and not be factual, then do something more interesting. The fire thing was pretty intense, and what have you.
Maybe she just wanted to keep it realistic.
But then keep it realistic and show us someone ODing on drugs. I don't know.
I wonder how many dead people they find in Central Park every year.
That's nothing to laugh about, but it's true.
Probably a lot.
Probably way more than anyone wants to admit.
But then why not at the end of the movie say, hey, this many people die from overdoses in Central Park, or sobering stats at the end? Nothing. We just get end credits. Heaven knows what.
Well, the whole thing was a sobering moment.
Well, yeah, but you could do more and say more.
Oh, yeah, there could have been more.
And be more effective with a movie. Yeah. Drop ball.
Yeah.
Very committed cast. Very. It had a gritty look to it.
Yeah.
I think it was just a wasted effort. That could have been.
You had some authentic characters. I agree. They all played their parts really well, and to the point where you actually thought, do they actually use like drug addicts? Like
that's what I said. So,
very authentic, and you're right. You had a good cast. You could have made a good story with it.
Opportunity that could have done more, but that's my opinion.
Here's an interesting question. Do you think they vilified drugs?
Or
did you think the movie was just...
Certainly didn't glamorize it.
It didn't glamorize.
Oh, no.
I'm not sure it vilified it either. I think it was just kind of sitting in the middle ground. This is what it's like. You know?
Wow.
Brought drugs to reality. No glamorization,
it's
no
drugs, booze, it's
vilifying.
Whatever. they would have done whatever it took to just stay high and in a state of whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say.
I know. It's, yeah. I mean, you know.
Hey, go watch Train Spotting. Go watch, I don't know, there's what's that one with Dustin Hoffman and old movie, The Electric Cowboy, I think it was called.
Not sure. So.
There's another movie about street
Drugstore
life.
Cowboys?
There's that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's better movies in my mind about.
But that wasn't Dustin Hoffman.
No,
Matt
sorry. I think it was Electric Cowboy. I think with yeah. Anyways,
On to trivia. The lead, Ariel Holmes, lived on the streets of New York prior to this film and after being discovered by Josh Safdie. She wrote and texted him almost every situation and story she experienced via her heroin addiction. Her tragic relationship with Ilya and life on the streets of New York City. When the film began shooting, Ariel Holmes got clean and remained clean throughout the shoot. That's good.
That is good. That is good.
wow.
I don't know if you guys.
Wow.
I was curious about her because I don't have a lot of faith in heroin addicts to have lasting recovery. Much like meth addicts, you know, the percentages are low, and so I try to follow up what has she done, and she had a couple other things after this, but there's been nothing. Including her own Facebook page, nothing since 2016. Actually, that's I think since 2016. So it's kind of like she fell off. I'm just assuming she's back doing drugs.
Streets, yeah.
That's my assumption. That's typically how it works when you're dealing with people that have gone through this. So you know,
it's pretty amazing. Like it is pretty amazing and I hope she's doing well. I mean,
I do too.
It's quite the performance. I don't discredit. I have nothing wrong to say, bad to say about the actors, especially Ilya, who had to play a piece of shit. And I've seen him, Caleb Landry Jones. He went on to do other roles, and he's good. I mean, to see that range, I mean.
Yeah, he played that. He nailed it. I mean, wow.
I don't know. You nail it. I don't even know. You know, how do you even know someone that bad? Because most of us would just distance ourselves from that person completely. How did she ever want to be with that? That creature. I don't know. Because really, that's as low as humanity can go.
Well, you know, there's that whole argument that
telling someone to commit suicide is pretty much as low as you might as well be.
You know, there's that whole saying that if you feel like a piece of shit. Yeah, you really like it when you can find someone that will affirm that you are a piece of shit. You know what I mean? And so it just makes you feel good about yourself that someone's beating
you
up
are truly
as much,
a subhuman. You're at that point. You might as well go.
Yeah, it's ugly, man. It's ugly. I mean, it's
it's awful.
Yeah.
Oish. I need a Tums after watching this movie.
All right, I'll take this next one here.
Sure.
Actor Buddy Duras. Now, who is Buddy Duras?
Mike.
That was Mike. Okay, this is the guy I thought did. It was compelling character. Anyways.
He's going places.
Yeah. Actor Buddy Duras was on the run from the police the entire time while filming this movie. Got arrested the day after wrapping and was in prison when it premiered. He got released just a few weeks prior before filming started for Good Time in Friday 2016 or February 2016.
Wow.
Good Time.
Good Time was another Safdie movie.
Okay.
I gotta tell you right now.
So these people are the real deal.
Yeah. Well, the trivia about this movie is more exciting than the movie. You filmed the movie, making of the movie about the guys making the movie. You got something.
Wow.
So if you want authenticity, this dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. He lived it. They lived that movie.
Wow. That's crazy.
Wow.
So did Harley, or so did Ariel, right?
Yeah. True enough.
Wow.
I don't see too much of this life. I have a bus stop when I'm switching from Portage Avenue to Sherbrooke. So there's a bus stop at Portage and Sherbrooke, and there's a McDonald's there.
No, that's a shady McDonald's. I know the one you're talking about. Yeah.
And there's a lot of panhandlers and squeegee kids and people bumming cigarettes.
I shouldn't laugh, but squeegee
and
kids,
bad drug deals going on there all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And I stand at that bus stop and I watch the drama unfold.
Oh.
Man, it's
But you know what?
It's it's a life that I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine.
You don't
No.
want to be there.
You know, yeah,
When they say don't do drugs, kids, man,
They mean it.
yeah.
Watch-
Don't do
watch-
drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs.
watch a movie like this, and you'll know why it leads to a rat hole infested life.
Yeah,
The thing is, I've been around stuff like this
Yeah.
in snapshots in my profession
Yeah.
and in the healthcare
yeah.
business, and man, yeah, it's pathetic and sad, but there are places to reach out to. Because we don't have much backstory, we don't know that their families the families must have just plain out gave up on these
Oh, yeah.
people.
Oh, yeah,
Because they're
for sure.
young, and it's not like they don't have a life ahead of them. It's just people just flat out gave up on them. Society, they just let them exist in this squalid life. It's horrible. The system, the city fails them, but what do? You know, if they don't reach out for
You
help,
teach your kids. That's what you do.
you gotta
Yeah,
stop it
but you- I
before
mean,
it happens.
Yeah. Well, that's
Because they're out there procreating.
I mean,
and-
a lot of these kids come from totally dysfunctional families
Yeah.
where they didn't stand a chance from the word go. You know, they didn't have
It
the
is-
support
it's
systems. They didn't have anything in place.
Sad shit.
It is sad. I mean, I don't. You know, it's horrific. It really is.
They should teach this stuff in school. They should. You don't hide this stuff. Anyway,
Yeah.
you have a trivia point to read.
Yeah, one more trivia point. Ezra Miller was initially considered for the role that eventually went to Caleb Landry Jones.
Okay, so we already said that Ilya, that's Caleb Landry Jones, who
Yeah.
played Ilya, did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you guys know about Ezra Miller?
I know nothing.
He's the Flash. He's the Flash in the
Oh, is he?
current DC universe of movies. Yeah.
Okay, I know what he looks
And
like.
Okay.
I don't know. Hey,
I mean, listen, I don't know who Ezra Miller is, but
Caleb.
I can't.
Caleb
I thought this guy now was
Landry
a
Jones.
douchebag.
You know, I'd have to
drug
quickly
addict.
look up on. If you want to talk amongst yourself, I'll pull up what he's been in. Just
So wait, you
concept.
Flash in the Marvel comics?
Yeah.
It's a
yeah.
DC comic series. It's a TV series called Flash.
Okay.
There's another TV series called Arrow.
Okay.
And there's another TV series called
Oh,
Gotham.
well,
This guy's in all of those, or
No.
Pretty much, he only visits
They-
all of them. They're
the-
kind of all
the
intertwined.
Flash character.
Okay.
You know how
does-
they like to do that.
But
Yeah, sure.
the big screen movie version of DC movies, not Marvel, DC movies has that actor in it
Okay,
as
yeah.
the Flash. So I just pulled up on IMDb, great site, check it out. Of course, you probably did. Caleb Landry Jones. He is been. Let's pull out some movies he's been in because I was very impressed by his performance. The one I think he was in, I got to pull it up. American Made. He was the brother-in-law.
Oh
recall
yeah,
that guy?
idiot.
His dim-witted brother-in-law.
Yeah,
He was in
sure.
that. He was in Get Out.
Get
yeah.
Out. What did he play in Get Out?
I don't know.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. But you know what? I said it before in another movie review. You show range when you play a low-life piece of shit in one movie and then you go on to do something else.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
opposite or very different roles. This guy's good.
So he
And,
would be probably the biggest name in this whole
I suppose.
outfit
He
here.
is,
yeah.
Well, I think Necro might be
Scully.
he might have a bit of a music career.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he's got quite the list of movies. He was in Twin Peaks, the TV show. He did a part in Breaking Bad. Wow, you know, good on
Yeah.
him.
So he's got a good
It's been around.
good resume going on there. Well,
Good for him.
I don't know what else to say about this movie. I mean, you know, it's. I think if you're just looking for a real snapshot in the life of junkies, and without any extravagant stuff going on, this is it. I mean, that's.
I think this would have been served better as a documentary kind of situation.
Yeah.
Shorter, like hour to get the point across. But hey, you know, I think there's better movies dealing with this kind of stuff than this.
I agree. I don't blame them for making it. I don't blame them for making it. It's hard for me to watch movies like
Yeah,
this.
it's not entertainment. It's almost educational.
Yeah,
You know?
But
Agreed.
And I know people that love these kinds of movies. They just want to see what's that.
Yeah.
That's
I want
like.
a front row seat to a junkie's life.
Yeah, I want to see that
Yeah.
car crash.
Yeah.
I want to see it up close.
That is true, right?
Yeah.
I don't like these types of movies unless they have something going for it that's going to pull you through some kind of light at the end of the tunnel. But
Well, it is what it is. You know,
heaven
that's-
knows what.
Heaven knows what.
Next week, Monday at noon, we're covering Arctic. Phil, this was your pick. Without spoilers, please tell us why you picked it.
Without spoilers.
Yes. Did you do it because of the Mads?
A little bit. I like survival movies. I like man against nature, women against nature. And that's what you're going to get in that movie. Check it out. We'll talk about it.
He's mad for Mads. Peace.
Primarily critical.
Right on.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah.
Stay in school. Get off that phone.